Hello, this is just another video of a review on Little Big Planet 3 for the PS4. I've had Little Big Planet 1 and 2 for the PS3 and I loved it. I thought, like at first impressions, you look at it and you think, oh, it's a kid's game. But really, it's like a very creative, like artistic game. If you've got a creative side, then you can utilize the game's mechanics and tools and stuff like that, and you can create your own levels. I mean, it's the amount of options and different level designs you can have are just unbelievable. I mean, the Media Molecule, the team who do this game, have done an amazing job of like it feels like, I don't know, sometimes it feels like your childhood, or it feels like the play, I don't know, like toys when you were younger, just the material. And like if you turn your Sackbot into wool, then he actually looks like wool, like you can see the fibers. And the same with like denim. If you've got like a denim like patch or sticker or anything, and it's, it really looks like the materials. And I think that's great because there's hundreds of materials like glass, wood, tiles, metal, anything you can think of. And you can, like I say, if you've never played a Little Big Planet before and you've thought, oh, it's just a kids game, I would give it a try, and then try and create your own level. Play through the story mode first, so you get to know what's available on the game, how the game works, and then when you go to create something, you've got loads of ideas that you can take inspiration from the other levels, but put your own theme on it. Like I remember back, where it was a couple of years ago now, when we first got Little Big Planet, I think it might have been 2, Little Big Planet 2, me and my friend created on a level, and it was like the village where we grew up, and we had famous, like, wait, not famous, but recognizable landmarks to us, like the pub, and we had like the village centre, and we had like the subway and stuff, and we had like people, like we had created like bushes, just with like green material. I forgot what it was now. I think it might have been felt, like green felt, and then you can stick 2 googly eyes on it, and you can stick like an emitter which emits smoke on a timer, or on a like a switch trigger, so when you get close to it in the radius, it sets it off. You could have coughing, and we used to like laugh because it sounded like people were like smoking dope or something in the bushes, because you'd walk past and it would be smoke coming out the bushes with coughing in the eyes watching you as you walk past. And we created like the whole village, like I say, and it was just really recognizable. There was the shopping center. I mean, the level was massive, and it took ages to get through it, but we just loved it. And it's the creative side of it that, I mean, if you look online on the community, that's another plus for this game. The community is absolutely huge. I mean, when I first bought this and I checked online to see how many levels there were 47,000 created levels. So even if you complete the story and you get it all 100%, which is quite hard because there's loads of hidden things that you have to search for, so you'll be doing each level 2 or 3 times at least. Plus you've got to unlock all your power-ups, like the boost boots, and you get like a gun which you can fire yourself through portals. If the portal's on the other side of the level, you can fire like a big metal ball and it'll transport you, and you get like a gun which sucks air and blows air, so you can suck things towards you, like platforms made of foam or polystyrene, like a light material. That's what I like about this game, again going back to the creativity. If something's made of wood, then it'll react exactly like wood. If something's made of sponge, then it'll float in water, or if you attach like a balloon to it, it'll float. And so just to recap, the whole game is just great for creating your own levels. If you want to get used to what it's like to maybe even create your own computer game, this is like a small little snippet into how a game works, because when you go into the creation levels, it really opens your eyes into how games are built and it's like layman terms of game design, and it's just interesting if you like computer games. It's just really interesting and really good fun if you spend hours and hours making your own levels and stuff, especially when you get to know the advanced controls and switches and actually building your own vehicles. I mean, my friend, he built like the Batwing, and he built a Batmobile, and he built like a city, and when you were going through it, the police helicopter would chase after you. We built a helicopter, and you put your own motor so the propellers go around, and you have flashing lights, sound effects. I mean, once you know how the game works, it's like your imagination can just run wild, and it's really, really fun. Like, you can make adult themed levels. It doesn't all, make it personal to you. Have little jokes in there. You can have a picture of yourself and then put that as a sticker, and then you can slap that sticker. So as soon as you start the level, there could be like a big sticker of your friend's face or something. You can just really have fun with it. So it's amazing. But anyway, back to the game. I mean, I've been talking 6 minutes and I haven't even mentioned the game I'm trying to review. But Little Big Planet 3, it's basically just Little Big Planet with more bells and whistles. You get an extra 3 characters now. You get Toggle, you get Swoop, and you get there's the little dog one. I forgot what his name is now. But anyway, they can help you, and it's just an extension on the gameplay, because Toggle can go from big to small. Obviously, just toggling the button. You tap L1 to make them small, tap L1 to make them big. There's Swoop, which is a bird. You can tap X and it flies, and then it swoops down. When you hold R1, you can glide, like on Batman Arkham City or Arkham Knight. You can like hold R1 and just swoop down and glide. And then I forgot the little dog's name, but he can jump up walls. Like jump onto a wall, then jump onto the adjacent wall and just like zigzag up like a tall corridor. And you can use him like that. And then you've got Sackboy, which is the original character, and now he's got extra weapons. You've got power-ups that you can use to help you get. So they've really went to town on like expanding it, which is great because it just keeps it really interesting. Like these, how you've got portals. Like if you're watching the footage, you've got to time it, and these portals weren't on the game. That's a new addition. So is this red line, like this helmet zip line thing. That's brand new, and that's one of your power-ups. When you're using your little Sackboy, like you get little power-ups to use. You see those bounce pads, you can tweak everything in the creation mode as well, so you can determine on how big it bounces, stuff like that. So it's really, really good. Like all this stuff you're seeing now with the cogs and the doors opening automatically and the fire on the floor, you can do that yourself. It's like these levels are buildable yourself. Once you've understood how the game works, it gives you access to the design and creation tools to make these levels. It's just amazing if you've got the time. I mean, it takes hours, and if you can keep that level of concentration to keep on track and focused, and you know what you need to do, and it all makes sense. Because I find when you're building a level, most of the time is trying to tweak it to make it all run smoothly. You can build it and then you'll test it out and you'll keep getting stuck, or there'll be a bit where if you go behind the building you can fall into the graphics and you can't see yourself. So you need to tweak it and like make sure somebody who doesn't know the level can just play it and actually make it to the end. Because when you're playing it and testing it, obviously you've built the level so you know what to do on every obstacle, whereas you need to give it to a friend and let them just play it, and you don't tell them anything about it and just say have a go on my level, and you can observe the way they play, and they might give you ideas on how to tweak your own level, and I could put an extra spring or an extra bounce pad there, and I need something to stop them from falling down there. So it's really good, and the game's quite big as well. They've added a lot more levels now. When you turn up, you've got about you've got about 3 or 4 levels to do before you can even do the main level that you initially tried to do. So they've really they've really spun it out long and more enjoyable now. So there's more story mode, plus not to mention the creation mode and also the community. Like I said, there was 49,000 tracks or 47,000 tracks last time I checked, but it obviously goes up every day because people are making tracks all the time. So it's just an amazing game. And like, I remember I used to have a flatmate a couple of years ago, and he used to take the piss because he used to say it's a kid's game. Look, you're playing on that kid's game, and you know. But he didn't understand. He just played FIFA and fucking Call of Duty, and that's all he was interested in. He didn't have the affinity to play games that weren't maybe from a popular genre, or you know, like mainstream AAA titles. If it wasn't something he's heard of, he doesn't want to give it the time of day. Whereas I'm willing to play independent games and just, you know, try them out. Some of the best games I've played have been games nobody's even heard of. But he used to take the piss when I played this, and I used to tell him it's because, you know, it's so creative, and we spent most of the time like creating the village where we live, never mind playing the story mode. It's just so enjoyable. Even like my point is, even if you're an adult, you can really enjoy this, and especially if you're a creative person and you've got a good imagination and you can be arsed and you've got the time, you can really invest days and days into of your life into this. And just, it's satisfying as well, like when you're making a level and it pulls off, and then you can post it to the community and you can keep track on how many people have played it and what they've thought of it. And you know, it's any kind of social media. It's the future now, isn't it? That's what present reality's like. Everybody's connected through the internet, so you can just imagine what it's like. I mean, you can go into the search box on the community online and type in like Batman, or type in like the Beatles, or you know, like anything you want, and 9 times out of 10 somebody's already made a level with that theme. Like I remember on Little Big Planet 2 for the PS3, I had played like some really good Star Wars levels that people had made themselves, and you would think it was like a professional job because they had the backgrounds, they had the music, the sound effects, they had, you know, like built things like walkers, and they had built X-Wings that flew and stuff, and you would think, Jesus, the amount of time they've put into doing this is just unreal. But so I don't know. It's one of those games where it can like be very addictive, especially when you get used to it. I mean, what you're seeing now is just the story mode. It's just the beginning of the story mode. You know, so you've got. I mean, here you're meant to shine your flashlight onto the pictures and they give you prizes, but I didn't have the flashlight at the moment, so I'm just exploring the level. This is what I'm saying. You've got this big level that I'm doing at the moment, but it's got to be like 2 or 3 levels within this level. This is just going around like collecting power-ups and stuff before you've even started the level. So it wasn't like that on the other game. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is what's changed on it. They've really expanded it, and it's a lot better. If you've ever played 1 or 2, each version, just like many games, gets bigger and better every time you play it. But they already had a perfect game on Little Big Planet 1, so all they've done is just kept the same game, but they've just added a lot more stuff, a lot more materials, a lot more objects, and just made it a lot of fun to play. And it's absolutely massive. I mean, the story modes, at least I would say, I don't know, I would say about 10 hours. If you would like collect everything, it would probably take you about 15-20, depending on how well you can play the game and whether you find the hidden stuff quickly or whatever. You know, there's lots of variables, but you definitely get your money's worth. I mean, how much did I pay for this? I think I paid 13 quid on eBay for this. And I paid about £1 something for the postage and packaging, so say 15 quid, and I know it's about 20 quid in the shop, so you know, second hand. So it's definitely worth the money. If you're bored and you're sick of Batman, you're sick of Project Cars and Destiny and all the other games that have came out, if you've played them, or if you're still playing them and you just think, I want something just like, it's like puzzles. Basically, it's a light puzzle game. But Stephen Fry does the narration, you know what I mean, and Hugh Laurie's on this one as well. He does some of the narration, or he's one of the voices on the characters. So you know, it's fun to listen to. There's humour, and like I say, even though it seems like a kid's game, you can enjoy it as an adult. So if I was you and you haven't played it, definitely go out and buy it. But if you've played it before, then obviously you won't need to be convinced, because you'll know how good it is. But that's it. I'll give it like 9 out of 10 because it's amazing. Right, see you later.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.